How to prepare for a business analyst interview. The first thing I would do is get a refresher on the role of a business analyst. The most important thing here is to understand what the role of a business analyst is, the value they provide, and how they go about providing it. This will shape not only how you approach the next two steps, but also help you navigate most of the questions thrown at you relative to business analysis work. There are lots of videos here on YouTube to help you accomplish just that. But if you want something a little bit more specific or concrete, I have a course on Udemy focused on specifically those points, which I'll include a link for in the description. This will be additionally important if you're coming with some experience from an adjacent field, meaning maybe you're a project manager or a developer or a QA, somewhere kind of adjacent to the BA role, maybe help desk, help support, whatever it may be, business subject matter expert. The goal here is to make sure that you are able to clearly articulate the skills that you have that will make you likely to be successful as a business analyst, but that you understand the delineation of the skills that you've gained over the years and the job that you're going to be doing in the future. And it's not that you're going to be doing the same things you did before in your new role. You're just going to use those things that are going to make you more successful in your new role, and you understand that that new role is going to be something different. If you're coming in cold with no experience at all, maybe you're a student coming in, for an interview, then it might be helpful to take a BA fundamentals course if that type of coursework wasn't provided to you in your curriculum. But you should also note that if they are hiring you as a recent college grad, they know you don't have any experience. So think about the courses that you did take, the things that you learned from those courses, and hopefully that should be enough to help you be successful. Number two is to study the job posting. You should be absolutely clear on every little point on that job posting that you know that you're strong at, but you should also be super clear on every little point in that job posting that you know you don't understand or that you're weak at. I would, in fact, if you could, you should look at that job posting, and any word that you're unfamiliar with or any skill that you're unfamiliar with, you should definitely look them up. The goal is to, even if you're getting thrust those questions during the interview, you should be familiar enough with the ideas to say, yes, I don't have experience in that, but I'm clear on the concept. I just haven't had an opportunity to demonstrate, but I do understand what it is, and that you do think you could be successful. It is important to know that you should not lie at any point during your interview or on your resume about the things in the job description, because a lot of times you don't understand what it really means to know something if you don't really know it. So if you lie about it and then you start getting questioned on it, it's going to become pretty clear pretty quickly that you don't know what you're talking about and that you lied. And at that point, if they think you're dishonest, it doesn't even really matter for the rest of the interview. You've already become disqualified, and you're no longer a viable candidate. Depending on how much time you have ahead of the interview, you may actually be able to brush up on some of the skills listed in the job description. So if you do have time to do that, you definitely should. Any knowledge that you have to help you better answer questions, or better articulate your lack of knowledge, the better. And in some cases, you may find that they list certain software that maybe you haven't used, but you've used similar software that does similar things. It's important to be clear on that as well. So if you're asked, hey, have you used Visio to create process models? You might be able to say, no, I haven't used Visio because my company didn't offer it. I use Lucid Charts instead, but I have made models and I am familiar with the concepts of most modeling, so it shouldn't be an issue for you to transition into working in whatever tool that they have available. My step 3 would be to document everything I've done in my career that will make me a better candidate for the job that I'm applying for. And I would actually write it out and type it out. And the reason I would do that is because more than likely I'm applying to a job that's a step up or a skill set that maybe, I didn't have before. And this will give me an opportunity to really think through how I want to explain the skills that I already have and the experience that I already have to an interviewer to help them or help sell myself to them better. And going through this exercise will really help me kind of concretely in my mind think through how I want to talk about every different skill and experience that I have. So that way, whenever I'm asked about it during the interview, I'm not fumbling. I'm like crystal clear on exactly how I want to communicate those skills. And it'll just make me sound smarter and more cool, calm, and collected whenever the interview asks me these questions. And I'm like, oh yeah, these are the things I've done. These are why I think they would make me a great candidate based on things that I've thought through and understood about the role. Last but not least is to remember that your goal is to present the best version of yourself and focus on that instead of trying to anticipate maybe what the interviewer wants to hear. Being crystal clear on things like what you want to accomplish in the role, why you want the role, versus trying to necessarily just appease the interviewer will make you seem more resolute and sure about what you want to accomplish versus being kind of like a wishy-washy people pleaser, which doesn't really translate well into being a business analyst. And a good way to think about it is, if you were, trying to date somebody and you kept changing what you were going to say based off of their feedback, then they know you're probably not going to do most of any of those things because you're just going to be reacting to the things that I say and do. Versus if I say, I'm going to do this for you every Friday. I love to cook and clean. Like that's me. That's what comes with the deal. Then you kind of understand this person, likes to go hiking every Friday and they cook and clean. I know if nothing else, I'm going to get that, and I could be pretty confident and sure about that. So coming in, you shouldn't think of it as coming in strong. You should think about it as coming in as who you are and what you can accomplish, so that they understand that even if maybe they weren't sure on exactly what they wanted out of the business analyst, you're telling them what they're going to get from you, and maybe they want that more than whatever they started out, thinking. So it's better to be your best self and not get the job because they didn't want you versus you kind of trying to be someone you're not and not getting the job because you weren't your true self. I hope that gave you some ideas on how to prepare for your next business analysis interview. If you have any additional questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll either answer you there or create a new video like this one. So subscribe to see your questions get answered. And as always, thanks for watching.